Whenever it kicks. Ah, there we go. Welcome to Minneapolis by Night. This is actually a social scene, and as you can tell, it's a combo social scene. There's all kinds of interesting individuals here this time around. It's not typical vamp, it's not guru, and it's not mage. So it's a smorgasbord, as you would say. Um, the current scene is going to start at the box. All these poor people are just waiting in line because nobody's gotten the VIP passes yet. Damn it. Vox is one of the most happening nightclubs in town. It's actually pulling. Okay. It's actually pulling business away from other ones. Not that they care, because that's more money in their pocket. To get in, all that's required is just show an ID. Just to speed this up and say everybody waited in line for a long time and finally got in.
Yep.
We got a time limit. Well, at least one of us does.
I do. I don't care.
Well,
I mean, if Ranza had saw, like, my Sarah or Marcella and Miriam, he would have just waved to them to go to the front, and he would have walked up to the dude and been like, "Hey, let me pass, Dominic," and then just walked in.
And the guy at the door would have looked at you and laughed and said, "Try it somewhere else."
Oh.
and if this is going on, Stormtail's be like, "Wait a second, the hell? That's some bravado."
That's some balls.
He's gonna.
But he looks at you and goes, "I like you, though. That's ballsy. Go on in."
Miriam's gonna turn her gun into the bouncer and say, "Don't steal this," and walk right in.
I'm not armed, so,
I mean,
know better.
Ransdell has his bag.
As they're on
bag
their
will have to be turned
way.
What'd you say, Will?
The bag will have to be turned in. They'll give you a little ticket. They actually have a little counter where everybody turns in their miscellaneous weapons. They don't ask questions about the weapons. They just say, "Turn them in there. You can get them when you leave."
Cool. If I
And a little ticket,
this,
like a coat check thing, but it's for weapons.
Weapons check.
if I pat this guard as I leave, does he have weird blood?
He has gangrel blood.
Okay, so he's just extremely strong willpower.
Yep.
Cool.
Or
So
They're
is
made
a.
either way.
But yeah, they're made to be that way.
What you doing, Stormtail?
Yeah. what you doing?
He's trying after trying to see after seeing that ballsiness up front. It's like, wait a second, I came here to try and figure out who's who in the city and everything. Is this? And he's gonna go ahead and peek sideways at these folk, try and figure out if he's already running into folks when he's not even inside yet.
Hey, guess
Yes.
what? Miriam's
Yeah,
got a
you are.
halo still.
Miriam
What?
and her
Do what?
halo, and then...
Miriam's still got a halo. 'Cause-
Yeah. Like he would recognize Miriam, but
Yeah.
everybody else is like, the hell.
Just
Dead
FYI, the
stuff.
gauntlet here would be about 9 or 10. You're standing near a bunch of technology.
Well, he's
And
still
in
got
the
a
middle of
mind
the
at
city.
10, so he's
Yeah.
Yeah,
got enough to
still
peek
got it.
sideways.
You still got it. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, he's still got enough to peek sideways. And,
Yeah. I'm just saying it's a higher
Yeah.
fire rate in the middle of the city.
I
Totally.
am a Bane-filled creature.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes,
that makes
yes.
two of us.
You smell icky.
Yeah.
And many of the guards here smell icky or look icky. Cursed being.
He just kind of shrugs.
cursed
Oh
being-
well.
But I mean, you see a lot of humans, a lot of other things. A few
Mhm.
shifters here and there. Generic NPCs. I'm just going to throw in randomly.
Woohoo!
Then you see this guy walking up. He walks right by the whole line. Literally walks up to the guy, the guy in the VIP line. Hands some little, shows some little card, and the guy just waves him in. He also, flips his badge, and the guard just nods, and you see him motion to one behind him. And you see him just walk right in. You hear him walk through the metal detector, and it goes off, and he just keeps walking. Federal agent. He's allowed to carry his gun.
Yeah, I'm
Stop
gonna make a federal agent badge.
That's PG's next goal. I'm gonna have Mr. Ranzo carry a Fed badge.
I should
But
pick
yeah.
up that Mind 2 wonder that just basically looks like whatever badge it needs to look like.
The magical badge of doom.
But yeah, so
Yeah, it's psychic paper.
Stormtail will eventually body in. If you want to follow one of these guys, you can. Obviously, the guard at the gate, is impressed with ballsiness. So
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, especially after seeing this happen twice, he's just like, okay, fuck this shit.
fuck y'all. People.
So,
Go into the special match.
bypasses the next 50 people in line. Just kind of stretches the webs like, hey, so I was with those other three. They were just being impatient, a bunch of dickbags.
He just kind of chuckles. Get in there. You
Makes
hear
his way
people
in, and
complaining. The
first-
guard looks at him and goes, "Shut the fuck up. Wait in line, asshole."
And the person he's following is the dude that flashed a badge.
Yeah, well, they still make, if you have any weapons on you, you still go through the alarm, and one of the guards stops you, goes, "Got to put them up. If not, then you're fine."
Yeah, he
Because
doesn't.
you'd
He's
have
not
to show
carrying
badge
anything.
for anything else.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so everybody's now in the club, thankfully. There's music playing. It's crowded. You can see why you can see why. Obviously, they have a line out the door because this probably pushes the limits of the occupancy.
Right.
There's still enough room to walk around, so it's not like you're a bunch of fucking sardines trying to squeeze your way in.
We're still
Yeah.
assholes to elbows.
You're pretty close enough. I mean, you can move, but it's still assholes to elbows.
Okay.
Well, y'all are here, so what do you do?
I'm stalking the badge man.
Okay. You see him walk up to the bar.
Stop
You
it.
see him look at the bartender, go, "Bloodline." Bartender nods. Pours him a drink. Puts it up. See the guy put 100 on the counter.
So badge man is rich and either a Klingon or a vampire.
Klingon.
Why not both?
Yeah.
Because the world is not ready for that.
Note
Mr.
to self: make a Klingon vampire.
Mr. Ansdale is looking for like a way to get to like a position that's higher. If they have like a staircase, like a VIP area, or if they have like
There really is no like viewing area kind of thing. Each floor is separated. Like I said, I mean, there's a staircase going to each floor, but each floor, doesn't really have like a little, patio area or anything. It's just a floor and then the next floor and so on.
Okay, cool.
You can probably, I mean, due to the makeup of the city, I'll say you can probably find a vantage point because they had to do some alterations that they normally don't do to make it fit the landscape. So I could say you probably find a good vantage point, not too high, but, basically you can stand on the stairs. I mean, and still see. It's not like the stairs, cut off all vision.
Sure, I will go up there.
Okay. All right. Well, you can see it's pretty crowded. There are people wandering around. Marcelo,
It's
what are
fine.
you
You
doing?
should.
Well, she walked in with Miriam and Ransdale.
Yeah, and then you see Ransdale kind of
Right.
just
He
wander off
kind
to
of
the
veers
stairs.
off. She looks at Miriam. Well, Miriam, how are you? It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. I'm sure we both have news.
Oh, well, not all that much. Who- though I am curious about a particular detective. She just
I think
kind
it's
of
just clear
glances
it's
at Miriam.
The one who just
Stormtail?
walked through the one who just walked through the metal detector, or someone else?
No, not the one that just walked through the metal detector. She says quietly, "No, the one that I encountered at my cousin's house that put a gun to my head."
Got a name? Got a name?
She says, she's like, well, I do have a name. However, she like glances around in a paranoid fashion. He says that you made mention of my name and my particular abilities.
Uh-oh.
Outside of my cabal, to no one.
Mr. Rainstill is going to attempt to go, like, upstairs or downstairs to try to find a level that has less people.
You go to the fourth floor. It's a lot less crowded. Mainly because there's classical music playing.
Sure, that's great. Mr. Ransdale will go and try to like secure a table away from people, and if he can, then he will message Maricela that there's a place up here that would be better to speak at.
Okay.
Yeah, the fourth floor is pretty empty, so I mean, you could probably talk a little more freely than you could on the first floor. There are still a few people up here. Obviously, some of the older people who just wanted to come to a nightclub. But yeah, so I mean, it's pretty empty. I mean, even the security is kind of lax around here. They're just hanging out, sitting at the bar, actually.
She's like, well, it sounds like there's a quieter place in one of the upper floors here. And she glances at Miriam.
All right.
So, yeah.
I could go for somewhere a bit quieter. She'll fall.
She'll go to where Ransdale suggests here.
Hi. Stormtail, you noticed this gentleman who said, yeah, you could say that. He kind of turns his attention and watches a few people walk up the stairs. You see him grab his drink. Pardon me, I have to go talk to some people.
Was Miriam one of them?
Yes.
He'll hand his shot glass off to the bartender and say, actually, one of those gals is somebody I need to pester as well.
Oh, good. And yes, it was a perk of the job. He just smiles
Good
as he
to know.
starts walking up.
Taking applications.
So, if you got the abilities, yeah. We're always looking for good talent. It's just kind of looking at you strange.
Just kind of shrugs and motions for
He
Badge
just
Man
smiles,
to go ahead and
doesn't
move
say
away.
anything. And, yeah. He just smiles, doesn't say anything, heads upstairs. Prospects. Isn't he great?
It's lovely. It's cute.
He activated that shit before he ever came in here. He's like, what's this? Take me forever. He doesn't know anybody here. Makes it so much simpler. Of course, it fucks with it too. So.
Oh, it should be noted, Mr. Ransdale is definitely dressed down. He's wearing like a Vikings jacket, like a big poofy one, and jeans and a baseball cap.
Holy cow. That is dressed down for Mr. Ransdale.
It's a doppelganger, kill it.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah. Alright, so everybody eventually gets up to the fourth floor. Yeah, this place is, at least the fourth floor, not so busy. A few people come up and go, oh, never mind, and everyone come back upstairs. Not a lot of people like classical. What can I say?
It's this floor.
When Miriam comes, Mr. Ransdale will look at her and he'll make a shush sound and then spin his finger in the air.
Okay.
Miriam will nod and will grasp her necklace and attempt to sense for any listening devices. So, correspondence 1. Yay.
You're in a club. You really want to do that? You can, but sure.
Yeah, is this room bugged, basically?
You got video cameras all over the place. As for listening devices, no, it's security cameras.
Okay.
But they're obvious. I mean, they're not subtle.
All right, nothing hidden. That 360-degree vision and
Not that you can tell.
see around corners and vision won't find. Okay.
No, this is a more lax club. They don't throw listening devices everywhere. Mainly because gangrel on it. I tell people, fuck off. Mind your business, dude. If they want to talk, let them talk privately.
Yeah. Well, just in case, though, Miriam will cover her mouth and say, "I see cameras, no microphones."
Everybody.
Miss Ransdale will simply nod.
But just so you know,
It is a club.
since you were specifically looking for listening devices, the cameras do not have listening devices. They are pure video surveillance only.
Excellent.
Not till you get into the private rooms where there is listening. They're dumb. They're not stupid. All right. Mr. Ransdale, since he was paying attention, would see this gentleman walking up the stairs and some small guy behind him. And they just seem to be having a natural conversation. This guy just walks over to the bar, back to his spot, puts his drink down. The bartender just kind of looks at it, takes a quick refill, puts a 20 up. He's not carrying that much money.
Well, he paid for the first one with 100.
Yeah.
There's no plants in here, is there?
Bartender just got one hell of a good tip.
Oh shit.
One moment.
An error is being called away. Okay. So, what do you guys do? Giles is just going to sit at the bar. He's just going to kind of watch your group, but you can tell he's not trying to listen in.
When he goes to the bar, when a badge guy goes to the bar instead of towards the group, Stormtail kind of does a little bit of a double take. And he looks over at Miriam, just like a little bit of a nervous wave, and and kind of one of those like, because he's a silly guy, like trying to be discreet but not really trying to be discreet. Points at the dude and makes like a I don't know gesture, and then heads off back to go keep talking about applications or shit with the badge dude.
I mean, Ranzo will
at some point or another trying to work.
Go ahead.
At some point he's going to try and worm in a. So, generally somebody only flashes a badge when they're showing up at a place for a purpose. I mean, perk of the job only goes so far.
Well, I know the nightclub
is
secured, and I know that they take all weapons at the door. As a federal agent, I cannot relinquish my weapon.
You see, that's fair. I get that. Okay.
So I showed it to the security guard so they know that I'm a federal agent and I'm here. I really have no purpose other than just actually socializing. Kind of new to town, so I need to catch up on the latest gossip, so to speak.
Okay.
He extended his hand. By the way, name is Edward Giles.
When Stormtail did his looking sideways thing, did he get a glimpse at this guy as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. It's like,
for his knowledge, yeah, he's kind of being invested too.
Okay.
He's a vampire. There's no way around it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
if you have a humanity higher than 7, it's much lighter though. So
he doesn't.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm just gonna solve that problem. No. A little darker.
Stormtail's a little bit hesitant at first, but eventually he's just like, okay, fuck it, this is gonna feel weird, but whatever. And he shakes his hand anyway. He's like,
okay, well, naturally, as you've already figured out, he's got a slightly cold touch.
So weird.
I mean, you can tell, obviously, he shakes your hand nicely. He's not, like, trying to crush it or anything or prove, he's stronger. He shakes it nicely like a normal person and, back to normal. And it just kind of leans back, and you see him sip his drink.
And as far as introductions, it's like, people around here, I'm Stormtail.
He just smiles. Of course you are.
Alright, smart ass.
I'm joking. So, which one of those did you know? He looks right at you. You said you ate one of them.
Rainstill is clear. Like whenever he looks over, Rainstill is staring at him.
And doesn't care. He figures
Just
he's going to
letting
be
him know.
watched. Yeah, I figured that.
Mm.
Not many people
As
come
far
up to the
as-
floor and stay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Matt.
he just kind of dismissively pointing over towards him. It's like, one of the gals, she asked me to help out with the thing, and I need to do some follow-up questions.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, don't let me stop you. I'm just socializing. In this month.
He just kind of shrugs, like, well, I mean, they're doing their own thing. Figure might as well just chill.
Yeah. If you're honestly looking to join, we are always taking applications. Depending on what kind of background you have, you could very well be a part of my division.
And which division is that?
One that you see him kind of look around, notices aside from the bartender, there's not many people close by. One that it's called the Special Affairs Division. He just looks at you, waiting to see if you have any kind of response. Usually tells him a lot.
He's just gonna kind of nod and just yeah, something that's intentionally vague enough that it gets the idea across, but it doesn't actually tell anybody that doesn't need to know what they need to know.
No.
Actually, is Miriam back? Are you back now, Ari?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
Okay,
Sweet.
very
Marcella pulls a pen out of her purse and just a miscellaneous business card because she's acquired so many from so many people. And on the back, she writes down a name and slides it over to Miriam.
Rainstill will try to see the name.
And she says, it says Detective Lawton.
Okay.
That's who came to visit me. That's all she says when she slides the card over.
Miriam will nod. Did they take her laptop?
They take mine?
No, he's asking if the bouncers took
Yeah, did the
Miriam's
laptops take
Oh.
my laptop?
No, they won't take the laptop.
All right. Then, yeah, she'll whip out the laptop and start accessing city files to figure out who this detective is. I will make a wits computer hacking roll as soon as I get my sheet up. Darn you, Windows 7. Come on.
He should update Windows 8. It's much better.
You know, and I'm not updating Windows 10 until there's a service pack.
See, I got Windows 10 though. Although I do have some issues outside of that, but that might be Windows 10 doing it. I don't know. Ironically, I'm a Mac person, so Windows and me don't get along well.
Well, I got one.
That's just means it's gonna take you a while to hack. Means it's not
Yeah.
gonna be that easy.
Right.
So
It's- she's
probably
gonna-
use the scene.
Yeah, she'll just be doing it in the background for pretty much the whole scene then. So
Right.
yeah,
Waitress
it's,
walks
Wi-Fi
over.
here's kind of crappy. So
Waitress walks over to your table, guys. What can I get you guys a drink? She's just looking between the three of you.
red wine.
That sounds delightful. Same.
Mr. Ransdell will say he's not thirsty.
Very well. She walks over.
Bye, Jason.
See, it isn't. Even though he left pretty quickly. Damn, he ain't kidding when he said he had to go. He went.
Mhm.
He
Waitress
goad
walks
and
over.
goad until he finally went.
Waitress walks over, talks, tells the bartender what they ordered. She walks back over as soon as he gives them. She drops off the glasses and just walks away. She does stop and go, by the way, the drinks are on the gentleman at the bar. She walks off.
She
And she pointed in
glances
the
over at
direction
the
of,
bar.
she points in the direction of this gentleman. He just kind
Miriam
of,
will pause her
look at this.
hacking and look his way, throw up prime sight, see what he is. That should do it.
He's gonna,
Neat.
Ooh.
and he just kind of motions his drink towards you three.
In a Cheers-esque fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Miriam will do the same.
Yep.
Go back to hacking.
Marcella will do the same as well. Yep.
Go back to hacking because it's time-consuming activity. So.
Yeah. I mean, he smiles. It's not like, and he's not got some like wicked grin, like, I hope they drink this kind of thing. It's just more just a friendly smile.
She
Hey,
just
worst
looks at
case,
Miriam and she says, I'll tell you what I do know about this guy. He's apparently one of yours.
Mr. Ransdale will slide out of the booth and he will walk up to the guy.
He's not one of mine that I know personally, but I don't know everyone.
Giles looks at you. Yes, sir.
Thank you for the refreshments.
Glad to see you didn't partake of it. I mean, first round's on me.
I do not require refreshment. Do you need something? You have been staring at our table for some time.
Just your peculiar mix. I don't usually see that kind of interaction. He
Wait,
looks,
you don't?
he looks between you and Miriam.
Yes. I know that black
I don't usually
and
see
white
that, so
women-
it's quite different around in this city. I don't normally see that where I go.
Well,
Usually,
black men and white women have been intermingling more.
He looks at you. No, that's not what I meant. He does kind of chuckle at that, though. I mean, because that's hilarious. Now you got me. Look, it's all Matt's fault. But he looks and goes, no, that's not what I meant. Never mind. I was hoping you'd get the more subtle reference, but yeah, never mind.
Storm's tail just still looks a little bit confused. He's like, wait, this isn't a normal thing?
Mr. Ransdale will pull his glove off and then offer him a handshake.
No, I'm good, thanks. I appreciate the thought. I'm not big on shaking hands.
I've been staring at you for some time as well, and I noticed that you shook that man's hand. Is there a problem with mine?
Yeah, the black veins. He looks at you. That tells me more than I need to know. I have nothing
You just
against
got
you.
called out, son.
I have nothing against you, to each their own, but last time I checked, this ain't the city for that.
Well, if you don't wish to deal with me, I understand that. However,
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that with the black veins makes me a little iffy. But you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, he extends his hand.
okay,
No, shake it.
we're both cold.
Yeah. Well, he knew you were a vampire because he saw the black veins. But,
Right. Well, once he said black veins, I guess that he knew that. That made me know that I was, that he has auspices.
You knew that he knew.
Yeah. He knew that you knew.
Ransdale
He
will
knew
offer
that-
for him
You
to
knew that
come
he
sit
knew that
at
you were
our
a bad
table.
man.
He goes, name's Agent Giles.
Mr. Ransdale.
No.
And I'm Stormtail. Who wants a drink?
I don't require refreshment.
Did you just hear the man? He said he doesn't require refreshment.
Yeah, but, I figure eventually you start hitting somebody with enough redundancy, they might cave.
Does it smiles.
I am not the individual that will work on.
Fine.
Mr. Ransdell.
If you're really offering to buy a drink, but I saw you paying with exact change for your drink downstairs, so how about I cover the rent?
Oh, that's weird.
I just hate carrying around change.
Hey,
It's addicting.
yeah, I can imagine. Some people have weird habits. But he goes, I'll cover it this time. And Mr. Ransdell, if you want a drink, just let me know.
I'm quite full.
Well, yeah. He just kind of chuckles as he continues looking at you, seeing the black veins. He just thinks it's funny.
So what did you eat today?
Well, if this guy cared, he showed no inkling that he does. I mean, the most you said is that it's not usual in a city like this. But
Mr. Ransdell will say, if you are familiar with things, then you should know that this was a reclaiming of botched blood.
ah, that makes sense. Yeah, I've heard some rumors in this town that aren't so impressive.
Yes. So, you should come to my table and we can discuss the nature of things.
Can I bring short guy here? He's funny at parties.
Bitch, I'm fucking fabulous.
Clearly has some connection to Miriam, so I will assume that he will not.
I don't think he'll do
But
anything
right.
stupid. I think he's smart enough to know where he's sitting right now.
Whatever, I've already got her number. I don't need to do anything else stupid.
Call her, maybe.
Did I say that out loud? Bartender, I need another water.
Shut up, you're drunk.
Mr. Ransdell will just walk back to his table.
Giles walks over. Just chuckling now.
Demeanor Jester.
Hey, guess what? Stormtail, if you go to the table, then your water refills.
Exactly, that's why he ordered one. He's not ready to get that drunk.
Giles extends his hand to the female. Name's Edward Giles.
Which female?
You got two of them.
He said it plural.
Hmm? Yes,
I heard singular.
No, female.
That's why I was like, which?
All right.
Okay.
No, see, Matt was right. I said females.
It's
It's starting to make me think I was losing my mind, goddammit.
Miriam will nod slightly and say, Miriam Cohen.
He notices you're busy, so he just moves his hand over to Marcella.
She'll
Also,
extend her
she's-
hand, and oh hey,
Yeah.
lo and behold, it's a lot colder than everybody else's, even though
You
we're all
see him kind of look curiously, but he doesn't say
Yeah.
anything.
Miriam
Mar-
has true faith.
Marcella Giovanni.
Yeah, he looks a little uncomfortable with you.
Yeah, so it's a good thing she didn't touch you.
Yes, he's very happy about that. He thought maybe it was someone else, but now that he's standing closer, he definitely feels the uncomfortableness.
Right?
Wonders how the other two deal with it, but doesn't say anything.
Well, I mean, Marcella's been around Miriam enough, and around a bunch enough true faith, considering all of her lovely little,
Goddamn
considering
true
what
faith.
she surrounds herself with.
Yeah, that's true.
So she's
If she works
probably
with-
rather
if she
used
works
to it.
with,
Even if
Vittorio
it makes her
and all, so-
uncomfortable, yeah. Even if it makes her uncomfortable, she's probably just like, as long as there's not a cross present.
He
Here.
grabs a chair from another table because, well, no one's sitting at it, and plops down.
As far as introductions,
you-
Quinn.
as far as introductions go and everything, Storm, he's like,
Damn kinfolk.
nice. When Marcel introduces herself, he's like, Miss Giovanni, call me Stormtail. And after the handshake and all that, especially with being extra cold, apparently, he's just like looking at his hand and then looking at her, like,
Matt gets touch of frost, so it's going to be a bit colder than even the gentleman's hand you were shaking.
yeah. And I gathered that because
Yeah,
she said
just-
even more so. And
yeah.
so he just pulls the hand away quickly, like, sorry,
Whoa.
unexpected.
Actually,
Oh shit! What'd you do? Put your hand in the freezer?
Don't mind Stormtail, he's new.
oh, I missed that. Sorry.
He went to shake your hand, and he assumed you would extend your hand and shake back.
Yeah,
But
I had
since
to
you have
walk
touch of
away to
frost,
shut my dog up.
Yeah, since you have touch of frost, as soon as he went to shake it and you touched his hand, he was like, "Whoa, sorry about that."
Oh.
Well, to him, poor warm-blooded creature.
Yeah, quote unquote. Plants wither as you approach and die at your touch. Your touch leaches heat from living beings as though you were made of ice. So, yeah.
So basically, as soon
Probably
as he
really
grabbed it,
isn't
he was
like
like,
that.
"Oh, I'm good."
So not
But
the one.
but that's really useful to have in a hedge mage. Because they just die. You just walk right through it.
Makes cuddling awkward.
Very.
My nipples can cut diamond at all times.
Oh my. Oh my.
Giles looks around. Okay, so now we have a general idea about each other. Let's cut through the bullshit. What's going on in the city? And why the fuck were the cops watching Vampire Havens?
We have one more thing. I understand that you're a federal agent. Are you
No.
a member of a sect?
No. Technically classified as independent, if you're curious.
Marcella just nods.
I'll solve a lot of problems and get this out of the way now. Old plan to meet you. He just looks between the two vampires he knows.
You cut out there for a second. What was that?
Yeah.
Oh, nobody heard it? Okay.
I did. I heard.
I heard
See,
the last
PJ
part
heard
of
me.
it.
Why does everybody else hear me?
For some reason I can't get my volume to turn up and everybody's really quiet. So
Okay.
And
He just
my
looks.
internet's
He
shitty.
he just looks and looks between both Marcella and Mr. Rancho and goes, "Just to solve any problems, I'm Old Clan to meet you."
Oh shit.
Ooh. That actually kind of gets a smirk coming from Marcella just because of something she knows that she's kind of interested about, but she's not going to say.
Well, Mr. Randall, that would explain why he doesn't give a shit about your black veins.
Mr. Ransdale says, well, to get everything on the table, I am at your mirror.
Giles nuts. That's respectable.
Although,
Her last name should tell him enough.
Oh, he already, as soon as he heard your last name, he just knew that one.
Yeah.
it should be noted that so far I've been more deadly to my own clan than any other.
Well, sometimes you got to clean house and make sure that everything's in order. He just looks at you.
He nods.
Miriam,
Well, since we're
Old Clan
listing
to meet you. Since you did roll it, I saw
Yeah.
you.
I know out of character. I was just seeing if she knew in character.
You would have heard about them. I mean, they're rumored to still, many of them still follow the Sabbat, but
Yeah.
there are some that go their own ways.
Yeah. As long as we're listing what we are.
Giles didn't seem to care. He's like, fuck it.
Yeah. I'm a mage of the Celestial Course.
Interesting. Well, that explains something. He just kind of looked at you. That explains so much, actually.
Note, there is not a single cross on her at all.
Nope. Yeah, well, he knows faith comes in all forms.
Exactly.
I'm a
Right.
brunette.
And actually, because they're being so open about their conversation, I am.
Well, like I
looking
said, I mean,
looking
this
around.
floor is almost empty. It's almost empty.
Almost empty being the key word.
Aside from the human staff that work here, and you can't really tell with them, but obviously Giles has been watching. He doesn't seem worried about it. Everybody's far enough away where they're not hearing. I mean, it's not like he's standing up on the top of the table and
Or
going, "Hey, I'm an
singing,
Old Clan
screaming at
Queen."
the top of his lungs,
Yeah,
right?
no, he said it casually and calmly, and enough where everybody could hear at the table, but those listening in, well, that would be their problem.
And Miriam will look at Giles and say, "Before we continue, do we need any additional privacy?"
No, I don't think so. I think we're okay up here.
All right.
Ransdale,
Well, I
Mr.
can make
Ranzo,
out
actually,
here.
okay.
I can make out here a bit more private too.
Nah, I
Yes,
don't
you
think it's
can.
necessary.
Ransdale
These
looks
clubs
at
are
the
usually
Corex.
good.
Did he actually say what he was?
No.
The Corax, no.
Okay, I'm
No,
just
he
making sure.
said. No, he's just raised his hand. He's like, I'm a brunette.
Yeah, it's just chuckles.
Yeah.
He's got
No,
this-
Miriam's not going to say what he is. So.
Okay, no, I was just making sure. on an OOC.
Giles looks at you, Stormtail. Why don't you tell him what exactly you are? It's only fair.
It's fair, but it's more fun to make him guess.
Do you want me to throw a quarter?
Oh, you asshole. And he's like giving them this like sarcastic look of like,
What, is he
I
distracted by
respect the
bright, shiny objects?
Yes.
yeah, it was the whole the look he's giving him is pretty much just say, I commend your cleverness, but fuck you.
Well, that
She
ab-
raises a brow at being distracted by bright, shiny objects.
well, that absolutely confirms everything you told me earlier.
He pulls out a nice shiny quarter and starts flipping it in front of Stormtail.
And he's following it very intently with his eyes as he turns to talk to everybody else. I'm a shifter new in town. I'm a Corax.
Wait, you're one of the, those of the bird persuasion?
Raven, yes.
Ah, she looks
That
very
was such a cool
excited about this.
What was that, Bill?
He put the nice shiny quarter in front of Stormtail. He's earned it.
Very discreetly going to go palm it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I see that change makes you a happy person.
I will tell you one thing. From what I heard, I don't like a lot of the things that are going on here. I want to help. I want to know what's going on so I know where to better focus my efforts.
Well, I'm prepared to tell you everything that we know from our end.
Looks to the others. I understand there will be some things you don't want to tell me, and that's fine. There must be, some things kept secret, so I will completely understand that.
Well, I am not at the point right now where I can afford to keep secrets, so I'm going to be very blunt.
I don't.
But I have a question.
Go ahead, Dan, and ask away.
You're an old clan Zamisi, and we are working in direct issue with Sabata. So,
Correct.
is this going to be a problem?
Does it look like it's a problem?
No.
He just looks at you.
But it would be quite simple for you to tell me, know that there would not be a problem with me telling you my secrets and then you going and assisting the Sabbat.
If you wish, I will give you my word that I have, they may approach me, but I am not interested in the Sabbat affairs because I think that aside from the way their upper management handles things, I think their peons need to get, bitch slapped and put in chains. But that's just my opinion.
All right, Mr. Ransdell will roll 5 dice to empathy him.
Right?
To what?
Empathy.
I'm Marcella's
Okay.
damn thing.
Okay. Anybody who wants to roll it can roll it. Including Stormtail and Miriam.
This is a very important thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
So if anybody could roll with me, it'd be cool.
Holly
Yeah,
rolled.
which one? What do you need?
I've got
5
1
dice.
and he needs 5.
5? Okay, I got it.
Oh,
I got it. I'll do it. Oh, Jesus, you should have rolled. Fucking goddamn.
Okay.
Miriam will roll as well, even though she only has 3 frickin' dice.
Hey.
Ransdell will
Hey!
unreadable.
For all those who did succeed, he is being honest.
Okay,
Is
cool.
it just
that'd
empathy,
be
or is it empathy
perception,
and something
empathy.
else?
It would be perception empathy. Yeah, whenever they say they're going to make an empathy roll, it's perception empathy.
Unless you're using it,
yeah.
unless you're using empathy to sway people.
Yeah. Oh, well then you have. Holy shit, I like that roll. Yeah, then all 3 of you who succeeded, unfortunately, Mr. Ransdell. See, that's why you should have had Holly roll it.
No, it's fine. What Ransdell
I know you're cool with it.
is what Ransdell will find him unreadable, but he knows that he's not overly empathetic. He will look around the table, and then he'll see that other people are like looking relieved or nodding or whatever. So
Yeah,
this will
because he's being completely honest. So,
Yeah. I don't think Miriam has failed an empathy check, even though she only has 3 dice for it.
I've failed them.
Yeah.
Or people that shouldn't have failed them on at that.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Ransdell will then nod and say, then I will share this in full discourse because I don't have time to dither about. So information will be shared freely here.
And
you
I
have to
do have to
understand.
go.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm going to do before I go is I apologize. I have some business to take care of. She's going to hand Giles one of her cards with her contact information, being
Okay.
as
He exchanges. Yeah, he exchanges his.
And she actually looks at Stormtail and she's like, I am also interested in speaking to you at a later date if you would be so kind as to oblige me there.
Do I
No,
have to pay
excuse
for dinner?
them. You're so popular.
No. She chuckles. And she'll actually hand him a card as well.
He'll take that and admire
she'll
it
look
and
at
stick it to his
the-
pocket.
She'll look at the bartender and say, the next round is on me, and she'll leave him money and let him, leave some cash.
Okay.
Not worried about change.
Gotcha.
I'll send you a USB drive with all the information on your cop.
Right. Thank you, Miriam. I'm sure I'll be speaking to some of you soon. And she gives Ransdale a nod.
Right. He'll nod back.
And Miriam continues to hack
She'll
right
make
in the
her way
presence of this FBI agent sitting right there.
Well, he only
she's-
sees the back of your computer, so he's not worried about it. And even if he did, he probably wouldn't care because he figures there's a purpose.
Once Marcella's out of earshot, at least what would be usually considered earshot, he's gonna kind of lean over to Miriam and whisper, "Does she have a thing for feathers or something?" Because
Miriam's gonna pause her typing. She'll look at Stormtail and she'll give him a huge shrug.
he'll shrug back, just sit back and just let everybody continue their conversation of espionage and intrigue.
Tappity 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 tappity.
That's hilarious. Giles looks at Miss Ransdale. Like I said, all I want to do is I want to help in whatever capacity I can. As soon as I got here and I saw how the police were dispersed, that pissed me off to no end.
Well, some things got to change because we all have a time limit. Everyone at this table is on a time limit, or they'll die.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's a time limit, and if we do not succeed by the end of the time limit, everyone at this table will be dead. You'll have to excuse me. You may interject questions when you feel they're relevant, but know that at the end of my discussion, you should understand the nature of things. So if it is a question that you think will be answered towards the end, please do not interrupt.
Oh, by all
Use the
means, I'm just
Go ahead.
confused.
Very good.
I'm sure he'll answer it. Go ahead, Mr. Ransdale. We're listening.
This city is a particularly potent city, both for ley lines, what she looks to Miriam. If your people have a map of ley lines of this area, it would be most important.
She reaches into her jacket and she pulls out a list and says, "Here's where they all cross." Hands it over.
Thank you. Mr. Ransdale will roll it up. I guess from where they cross, that means I should be able to delineate somewhat.
Yes. Yeah.
But this place is not just significant for that. I feel that there is probably something very significant in the spiritual realm, which I'll look over to the Korax, and there is probably something significant here for the mages. Like, I would guess this city is a nexus of power. For my people, this city holds two very important things: potent elders.
Interesting. That I didn't know.
When I say potent, I mean
I got your meaning.
the most potent. The most potent.
At the mention of Antediluvian, even if she didn't have Kindred Lore 3, Miriam's got ridiculous amounts of Jewish lore, so she's going to pause there and she's going to go, "Oh."
Did Giles say antediluvian?
No,
Yeah, Giles said Antediluvian, and Miriam knows what that word means. One way or another, and she goes, "Oh."
Usually when you say elders and sleeping, that's generic vampire talk for antediluvians. So that's what Giles he's cutting to the chase and be like, well, let's not fuck around.
Yes.
Or Shub Niggeroth, that works.
So There are two of
Oh.
them here. One of
Huh.
them that would gladly assist the Sabbat.
Oh joy. Well, that
Um,
narrows it down quite a bit. I only know a couple left that would join their side, so
and
gives me a good indication.
sorry, you said there was one that would help the camp. Did you name him? All I know is
Set.
Set.
Set himself, yeah.
So there.
But
there
he would
is
definitely
one,
side with the Camarilla more than he would Sabat.
Oh yeah. So,
Camarilla is a lot more about spreading all their sins around. So
Yeah.
the point is, we want neither of them awake. In reality.
Well, does any kindred want the antediluvian to wake? You know, they kind of would eat us all and, dance on our corpses.
Not any sane one. While there
That
is one
would
that
be
would
very
side
bad.
with us more than the Sabbat, I think that neither should be awakened.
I agree.
Here is the unfortunate truth.
Hmm.
The Sabbat have a map of underground caverns beneath the city, a lower level than even the Noswatu Warrens go. Somewhere in these caverns, there are the two that are there.
Awesome.
We, meaning everyone here, I understand that they are a great source of potent evil, as the werewolf kind would understand. But what they also need to understand, he is speaking directly to the crow at this point, is that
Raven.
attacking
Crow's
them-
different.
attacking them.
Whatever. You know what he
Yeah, whatever. He doesn't know. He's like, you're a birdo, whatever.
meant. Just deal with it.
He's like,
note to self: make a were ostrich.
your people may wish to try to destroy this thing. However, they cannot fell it in one blow, and coming to destroy it would likely rouse it, and then it is potent enough to start a chain reaction that would end the world.
Giles nods. He's not wrong on that.
And
That's
for the mages,
fun.
hiding it or moving it or doing whatever, the potent magic that would be required to move it from its slumber would once again awaken it. So
It would also
And-
inflict. It would also probably inflict enough paradox to make all the mages in the city explode. So
Yeah, so,
Sure.
again,
So-
not a good idea.
no, the thing that we have to do is keep them secluded where they are, because they've been sleeping there for long enough that, assuming we do not make errors, they will stay how they are. They are probably part of the fluctuation of power that you have caused, probably disseminated all the way down to them and reacted to their blood, which caused the change in our blood. As we are static creatures, it normally would not affect us. But that means that they are more brought to the edge of
Oof.
awakening.
Yeah, that would really get bad.
So, the Sabbat are attempting to push us out of the city so that they have free reign.
Makes sense. Gives them longer time to find the bodies.
Yes,
Makes perfect sense.
there are those of us who are potent enough that we are a legitimate threat.
Makes perfect sense. They would want to get rid of you and then clear out all the rest of anybody who might interfere in their matters.
the Sabbat aren't the only threat around here.
No.
There's also the technocracy. She says, looking to see if Giles knows what that is,
It just nods.
and she'll nod as well. We destroyed one of their bases, and that's what caused the energy that Mr. Ransdale was referring to.
Okay.
I have at the very least a strong assumption that there's a man that goes by Thomas Roderick.
You see Giles' face actually perk up at that one.
I believe that Roderick is not a vampire. I have suspicion that Mr. Roderick is actually a Nafandi or a member of the technocracy.
Interesting.
I think that he has extrasensory perception and watches those of us in the city. And I think that he should be something that that you mages should be looking into more thoroughly to disrupt whatever his magic is. I believe that there were traitors in 3 different clans: the Nosferatu, the Toreador, and the Tremere. I destroyed the Tremere issue. I know the Toreador issue is our leader, and I will dispose of him. I also know that I know who the Nosferatu one is. She's just very difficult to find.
As in Nosferatu is. But I do have a question. How about instead of destroying the Toreador one, you basically just keep them secluded, only give them certain information?
Yes. The destruction is an eventuality. He is not going to be destroyed yet. I plan to use him to make the Sabbat forces be marshaled in such a fashion that I will be able to destroy all of them, or a good deal of them, before I destroy him.
Makes sense.
So,
the law firm Ram, Wolf, and Hart is also somehow involved in all this.
Yes, I believe that they are a group of infernalists. They're
Giles kind of growls at that one.
I believe that their rank-and-file lawyer is likely not infernal, but I'm sure that the partners at all of the places are infernal. So,
well, they have the strongest anti-magic shield that I have ever seen, yes. And I can't access their computers for shit. I've got a new angle to go after them, and as soon as I do, as soon as I'm done with that, I'll start looking into this Thomas Roderick fellow.
Well, I'll tell you what, with my knowledge, I can assist in trying to get some info on Ram, Wolf, and Hart. Being a federal agent, I do have some pull. I'll have to be very careful with it because obviously if it's a law firm, they're going to know all the, ins and outs, and will probably keep me busy for a while. So I'll try and find the most odd ways too. Mr. Roderick, I can probably look up, see what kind of information we have on him, seeing as how my division in particular focuses on the world of darkness.
He will nod. Ransdale will look to Miriam. Can you convene with the mages and make me an item so that I cannot be scryed on while I'm doing what I do?
Convening with them and making an item will take too long. I can make, lucky for you, because something is screwing with our ability to ritual cast.
Mm-hmm.
But that seems to be mitigated by a planetary convergence this week. I can affect you for up to the next 6 months if you need it.
Yes, something so that I cannot personally be scryed on by outside forces.
All right. And Miriam's going to let the computer do its thing for a bit, get to a point where she can do that, and is going to start ritual casting to put a correspondence ward on him.
Okay. Ransdale will just let her do her thing. While she's doing that, he will look at the FBI agent. I would be most careful with Wolf, Hart, and Ram.
I expect as much. Like I said, they're a law firm, so they're going to be very slick.
Spending another quint.
I have heard of this law firm, and I've heard of their reputation, so I can imagine what kind of...
Spending one more quint.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So I can imagine what they're capable of, so I will use my best judgment and try and be as subtle as I can about it. I can't promise anything, but I will do my best and bring whatever amount of information I can.
That is very good. I again think that our enemies are operating. There is the Sabbat group, and he'll put quotes. I believe that Thomas Roderick is not a vampire, and I believe that they have a... what's his name? His name begins with a G. Do you have any very important Sabbat members with a G name? Garrett? Maybe Garrett?
Gareth?
Garrett,
God looks at you.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yes. It
fuck,
is.
Fuck. Oh,
yes. It is that level of potency that we are dealing with.
Oh, then you have no idea what level of potency you're dealing with.
I am quite confident that he is an incredibly potent and capable vampire, and he will cause me much consternation.
Yes, it will.
But I believe that he is working with a mage, and I think that it's going to be likely that he has a potent were creature with him, because I've seen in all of this there have been groups of 3, and we have not known the player, the third, the werewolf player in his group. Just like I believe Wolfheart and Ram probably has an infernal mage, an infernal vampire, and an infernal shape changer.
More than likely, makes sense. If they're trying to keep
Yes.
the 3 organizations together, they would try and do it all together.
Yes, I believe that the number 3 is of great significance. And if your people, he will look at the Were-Raven, if your people can see through their anger for what we are, that we should start working in teams of 3 so that information is not disseminated by one person, luckily finding all the other 2 groups at the same time.
Makes sense.
I would prefer to have a representative, a wolf of some kind, become my associate. I will research what I can to alleviate the issue of my taint from you, and what steps that I will need to take, because I am willing to radically change myself to not die.
Well,
At least he's honest about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. It was Rhinesdale, right?
Yes.
I will be the first to admit to you, Mr. Rhinesdale, and you, Mr. Giles. I'm fairly new at all this. I'm actually fairly new coming back to the city. From what I can tell, so pretty much one of your concerns is that there's probably some sort of shifter or traitor as well that's helping these guys, or at the very least they brought somebody else in.
I would say that there are at least 2, and if we don't know all the players yet, there could be a 3rd, at the very least.
Near as I can tell, it seems that the shifter folk are fairly decentralized. Like, they don't... Like, everybody keeps tabs on everybody, but it doesn't go much beyond making sure that everybody's okay and seeing if everybody needs help. So, from what I've seen, it seems like that could actually be a viable thing. I'll pester some of the people that I know and see what I can dig up.
I've been watching the clock, and it's around this point when Miriam can stop ritual casting.
Okay.
And she's going to go back to typing and hacky, type, and she's going to say, if there's a mage trader, I have a few ideas. If they're who I think it is, we might be in a little bit of trouble because they sit on the mage council. Thankfully, none of my cabal are of that tradition, so...
Again, I will say that I do not believe that destroying your trader is the best, but feeding them very bad information so that we can walk them into a trap.
I trust the members of my cabal. I don't necessarily trust the Mage Council, as they've been slow to do most of anything.
I believe
not with any group of higher-ups. Giles.
I believe that we must all first find the error in our own house before we move on past that.
That makes perfect sense. That way we know who it is, so that way we can disseminate different information to them. Or, I mean, obviously we can't keep giving them all false information all the time, because then they're going to get suspect. But I would say, give them, or even give them some truths about stuff that really doesn't matter. Stuff that they will keep them busy looking in another direction that we're not focused on.
It is my plan to feed mostly accurate information, and then to ruin them with one good one.
It's the standard thing. You have a mole, so you feed them information that brings their crap down. I mean, yeah, you have to give them right stuff most of the time just so that they don't notice the discrepancies. But the biggest thing is you have to just make sure that the wrong stuff is the stuff that you want to be wrong and leads them in the right direction so they step in the crap.
I would prefer also that it be one of your more potent shifters that work with me, because the right information that I give will likely be information that will lead to them finding me in places rather than other kindred, because I am potent. And I do not wish for lesser vampires.
You don't want to get somebody else killed. Yeah, that's all good and noble of you. I'm just...
Well, that, and I believe that if they come upon me, I can destroy them more effectively.
On the
Rather than
large list
take
of things I can
someone.
work on, I'm going to try to make a secure line of communication.
We desperately need that. I noticed that so far they have not realized that I have been using satellite phones because it gets around their tricks.
That was just nods.
Miriam nods as well and says, "I can see about getting an encrypted radio network through the city."
Mm-hmm. You
You
can
put
work
an
on
alarm on
whatever
it?
you like if you feel that is best. Just as long as your magics won't be obvious to the enemy, I agree.
Well, that's
As
the
long-
trick about encryption, is you could do it mundanely and still make it next to impossible to decipher without the right key.
Hold on.
And also, if you do it mundanely, you can set it up so that the moment that you notice somebody trying to ping it to crack it, it simply you get a notification so that you know how close they're actually getting. And then at the last minute, you change the encryption.
Yeah, I have a few ideas using quantum mechanics.
Wait, you guys mess around with that stuff too?
Who do you think came up with it in the first place?
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, it's the only. Who else would come up with something like the uncertainty principle besides us fucking wizards?
Yeah, when you put it that way, that's a fair point.
Jason, just let us know when you're ready. You can hop in anytime. Just FYI.
So, I will work with whoever, but the city cannot function any longer with division lines, and I have lived far too long to die to squabbles.
Hey, Marcus.
Uh-huh.
Just to catch you up, Marcus. They're meeting at the Vox on the 4th floor because it's pretty empty because it's classical music. But this is just basically a meet and greet, and Mr. Ramsdale has been updating Giles what's going on so he can better assist with everyone else. Right now it's a mage, a shifter, and 2 vampires. Looks good, Jason. And it looks like another werewolf will be jumping in. So, I mean, if Carmine wants to jump in, or if a werewolf wants to jump in, you can, but just fair warning, it's the box. There are no weapons allowed in.
And then by the end of this week, I'll have money.
No weapons?
Well, aside
No
from
weapons.
what you're born with. And obviously you can't take the shifter's claws or teeth away, but no.
Well, you could chop their hands and break their teeth. They'll grow them back.
They'll be
I
very.
think you'd be a little pissed and just start a whole war. Yeah.
Would Ramsdale have called Carmine, or would Miriam
Absolutely.
have brought Fix?
It doesn't matter. I mean, both could have been notified. Especially now that there's a meeting going on, because this is basically like an impromptu meeting of each head, each group is being represented at this point. So.
Okay, if each group is being represented, I will, because none of the other 2 characters that I have aren't exactly social butterflies.
So Carmine it is.
Yeah, the shifters are currently represented.
The crazy Korax. Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on, but I'm pretending.
Yeah.
He looks just like that dude from Penny Dreadful.
But yeah, so that's basically what's going on. So we'll say Mr. Ramsay contacted Carmine just to make it easier, since Carmine is the more social butterfly, as you put it. And then Jason's character can just randomly wander into the.
Just fixates everybody, and so.
Ransdale will tell Carmine what floor we're on, that he is being brutally honest with the other supernaturals about what we are dealing with, and that
Carmine will be sad that you're being brutally honest. Carmine despises honesty in all shapes and forms.
And then he will also tell you that when you come up here, there is an independent FBI agent who is a Zamisi,
Old Clan
Zamisi, who is not affiliated with the Sabbat, but is enthusiastic about helping us root out the problems.
He will look at you like you're a retard.
Mr. Ransdale definitely accepts that look.
So, Mr. Ransdale, you mentioned this thing about a time limit. I mean, obviously there's the soft time limit of whenever they manage to find the antediluvian, whatever.
Antediluvians, Giles.
Mr. Ransdale says, yes, we have other potent people in my group. It is so important that the world not be destroyed that my group will utterly obliterate all of us for not stopping the problem.
Wow. And their council has already made that decree. He looks at Ransdale.
Yes, their eyes
that means
are
that means they hardcore are worried about this city. That could be problematic. Time limits suck.
Well, maybe this will light a fire under the rest of the Cabal's ass.
Perhaps.
So at that, Stormtail just kind of goes back to his notebook and it's one of those ones where you can flip it up over the top or whatever. He's just taking.
Jason, just let me know whenever you're ready and I can get you in. I mean,
I'm trying to wait for an opening, man.
Okay. Whenever, I mean, because Carmine's got to come in and you got to come in. You both come in at the same time. That would be funny. I'm going to follow the vampire in.
Alright, okay. What does this club look like on the outside?
The Vox looks like an old Gothic cathedral. It's 5 levels, well, 4 that are actually public domain, and then the 5th is obviously the office. It's a huge club. I mean, it takes up an entire city block itself. So you can picture the size of this club. It's popular. It's one of the biggest, one of the most popular places in the town. Everybody goes here. It's a mix. If he's new to town and has heard anything about it, the Vox is in several cities, and in all the cities, all supernatural are welcome as long as they...
I don't think Andre has enough streetwise to know exactly that.
Okay, that's fine.
To him, it's just a club that was converted out of a cathedral.
Yeah, basically. I mean, that works. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's just a place to hang out and just relax is basically what it is. Or a social that has turned into a plot scene. So.
Yeah, probably looking at this place, obviously Andre's got the bare minimum of rage for his particular auspice, so yeah, probably there's some people who kind of give, well, though considering he looks kind of Eastern, ancestry is what it is, he looks more white than he does, Turkish or Middle Eastern or anything.
Gotcha. Well, I won't give you any answers.
Yeah, so probably either way, that probably cuts down the line a little bit as Andre kind of looks at this particular place. And, yeah.
Carmine just walks through the line.
Okay. There are two lines, by the way. There's one for VIP, and then there's the regular line. The regular line is the one that goes basically around the block.
Yeah, and that's probably the one that Andre's like slowly getting his way through because.
Yeah, I mean, you do see a few people kind of walking by the line, and like you hear people, "Hey," and he goes, "I'm a," a couple people go, "I'm VIP, fuck you," and just keep walking.
I walk. If someone stops me, I'll stop. Otherwise, he just walks into the front door.
You get stopped by the guard at the front.
Can I help you?
ID. Yeah, ID.
What do you mean ID? What are you talking about?
I mean a fucking ID. Do you understand English?
You know the fuck I am?
I don't give a fuck who you are. This is a private club.
It's private.
He smiles.
Do we need to have words outside betwixt me and you?
I don't think you want that. He looks at you.
I'm pretty sure you don't either.
He scratches his neck. You notice he moves his collar a little bit. You see the gangrel sign.
Oh, really? I think Leo would have a problem with that.
He looks at you. You know Leo?
Yeah, no Leo.
You know, very well then. Go on in.
All right.
Throw some weight around.
And suddenly the gangrel sphincter puckered.
Yeah. Yeah, this one knows who Leo is. Not all of them do, but this one does. So we wage you in. You still got to go through the scanner. They still make you turn in your guns. Just
I
to,
give them. Who wants these?
there's like a little. It's like a coat check side, but you can see there's weapons hanging, stuff like that.
He puts his two pistols there.
Okay. They give you a little ticket that gives a number. Gives that. Jason, same thing for you. When you finally get up there, even the people in the non-VIP line get the same treatment. They all walk through the same security system.
Okay, that's cool.
But yeah.
He's got nothing metal on him.
That's
well,
fine.
aside from the buttons on his zipper.
Well, they don't care about that. No, I'm just saying, any weapons-wise, they'll have you check them in and then let you into the club. That's it. Other than that, I mean, you see him.
Andre's getting a little bit confused about that whole thing because, well, let me put it this way: stereotypes of America are what they are. But it's kind of like, does everyone here have guns?
Not as many as you think. I mean, it's not like there's an arsenal back there, but I mean, you see a few a few weapons hanging up.
Hilariously enough, as you say that, this dude in he's got like a black T-shirt on, some jeans, some boots, and like this long a coat. Like he learns all this. He goes, the smart ones do.
Smart thing to do.
And oddly, you see a really big green bag.
The bag man is here. I'm gonna go up and see the bag man.
He told you he was all the way upstairs on the floor.
Yeah, no, I just go.
All right, yeah. As soon as you walk up to the fourth floor, you hear classical music playing. If Jason, if your character decides just to follow this guy, just because hell, he just said all the good ones do. I mean, he must be involved in something fun.
It's a bit of a leading suggestion.
But you can. I mean, if you want to stay on the other floors, it's fine. But
I'm just trying to think of it. Well, yeah, I'm going to stay on the lower floors for the time being because.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking in character here. I can't logically think of any reason why they would want to go up to that place. I mean, yeah,
fair enough.
The guy was a bit smart alecky, but then again,
that's America for you.
America.
Hey, you spell colour without a U. That's badass. That's badass. That is.
So
Badass and lazy.
Andre would also be told that different floors have different music, so he might go up at some point to explore the music.
Yeah. Each floor has its own unique music. They don't bleed into each other. You're not sure how it works, but they don't bleed into each other.
FM.
First floor will be playing like rock, second floor will be playing like rap, and you don't hear the rap in the rock level, or vice versa. Each floor is specifically set up so that that the music on that floor is all you hear.
So no fights. Right. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So you're not listening to drowning pools, bodies, and hearing gangster rap up top.
That would be a good blend.
But yeah, so that's basically how it goes on. Yeah, so I mean, you would know. I mean, you see people going up and down the stairs. I mean, obviously there's more to this place. Probably some coolness or whatever. So whenever he decides. Carmine, you get all the way up to the fourth floor. Like I said, it's almost dead empty. If you staff here, you see Ransdale sitting with a group of people. The music is classical, but they don't seem to mind. It's almost as if they're not paying attention.
He goes, Mr. Rainsdale, thank you so much for inviting me to this little soiree of yours. I will do the best that I can to assist you, as you outrank me and all.
Mr. Ransdale will shake his head. This is merely to put the cards on the table and to get the three groups coordinated.
Yes, sir, Mr. Ransdale, sir.
He's all formal there, Mr. Ransdale.
As I said, Mr. Ransdale, sir, I will do the best I can. Excuse me, I don't wield as much power as Mr. Ransdale does in our particular organization, so I really have to defer to him in matters of real power talk and all. But I will offer what meager assistance I can.
How come I don't buy that? Meager, I don't see you.
So Stormtail's gonna look straight at Carmine after that and just say, "Laying it on thick, buddy."
Sir, I don't know exactly what you mean. Not even a little bit. I don't know you. You don't know me. You're making some suppositions that I don't really, understand.
But the way you were talking, he has no reason not to think that.
Well, I got no reason to do any reason. Is Mr. Rainsdale over here?
Gotta keep the mystery alive, right?
Got no idea what you're talking about. So, what have I missed?
Oh, apparently your people are going to destroy the city if we don't get our stuff in order.
Your people. Well, those are Mr. Rainsdale's people, as he is as he told you, is a higher echelon than I am.
Of course.
I really have no power to sway them, so I am under the gun just like any other denizen of said city. I have been asked though if I may, with this esteemed assemblage here, I'm supposed to ask what it is exactly you have to bring to the table. See, because he's not really a nuts and bolts kind of guy. He's more of an action kind of guy. I'm his lackey that does like numbers and stuff like that. So I'm wondering what it is that you all, because I assume that this esteemed assemblage has the ability to make decisions for their particular groups, right?
I speak for the mages insofar as I'm the only one willing to work with you people. So,
well, that's not the same thing as like power. So you have that. Your word is your bond to your particular organization.
My word is my bond, insomuch as more so than anyone else who's willing to talk to you.
Mr. Rainsdale, remember what we were asked, sir. Oh, well, that's why I'm asking this question, ma'am. You see, what Mr. Rainsdale has been empowered to do is make blanket decisions as it comes to our group as a whole. So when he says something, he has the backing of our group as a whole. Do you all wield the same power?
I can speak for the group I represent, Giles.
That's smashing. That's smashing and wonderful, and I thank you for appearing. Do the rest of you, can you all say the same?
I'm just here to hit on Miriam.
Well, if Mr. Rainsdale thinks that it's important for you to do that here, then it must be so.
He's gonna look a little bit apologetic towards Ransdale, and sorry, but at the very least, I can get a hold of people that actually can get into stuff like this. So,
yeah, at the very least, knowing a guy who knows a guy is probably a good thing.
Mr. Rainsdale,
this whole thing is a matter of convenience.
He is known as one of the heralds of his group.
Well, Mr. Rainsdale, if you think that that's best, sir.
Mr. Ransdale will give a toothy grin that cannot be fully considered a smile at all. I think it is best.
Thank you, sir. So, as he has full faith that you can deliver what it is that you say, what can you do for us?
Mr. Ransdale will gesture to the Miriam. She has covered me so that those who know me as a threat cannot divine my location through mystical means, so I can look into things without fear of repercussion.
I've also provided a map to all the ley line intersections in the city.
Oh, well, since we did not have that before, that will be very helpful. Thank you. I speak for the others. I was sent as a herald from my people. So I'm supposed to thank people because he doesn't do that sort of thing. It's beneath him.
At this point, Stormtail's just looking between the two pissing contest vampires, like, this is fucking rich.
I have offered to assist in what way I can. I will dig up more information on the law firm. I have since pulled the police presence outside of known hangouts.
One thing though, this
Yeah.
assemblage, our group has been asked, and I don't know if this is going to be difficult for you all, but in our last meeting, Mr. Rainsdale, remember, the prince did say that he would like you to be the liaison when it comes to other stuff, these people, and he would like to not be bothered.
Yes. No longer should things be directed through the prince. Any communications through our kind, obviously, then your personal communications with people should go through me indefinitely.
He's busy, is what we were told. We don't ask questions. It's not safe to do that.
As an out-of-character thing, wasn't it mentioned earlier in the conversation that the Toreador trader was the prince?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because
No,
Stormtail
you're
is going to kind of look at him like, you're trying to be okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't jumping
Nope.
on that.
Nope.
You're right. Nope.
You're right.
But remember, Carmine is just coming in, so he doesn't know what all was said beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's kind of just going on what he knows.
And that's why Miriam just answered, quite.
Other than that, I'm not sure in what other capacity I can help. I can do more research on things. Having a much larger database to search from. I can get intel. I do know of this Gareth person more by reputation than by anything else. I've not met the man, nor do I want to.
I'm not sure that now is the proper time for it. And he'll kind of look over at Carmine. But at some point, I think it will be good if you were to do a deep investigation of this mercenary police force, Black Wolf.
Yes, sir. I will definitely do my best to delve into that. I'll add it to my list of duties.
You might coordinate with our friend here, Mr. Giles.
Then again, I might not.
That is certainly your choice, as I've given this under to your purview.
Giles looks at you. You're Carmine Santangelo, aren't you?
I have been known as that name, sir. Yes.
You're not. Okay. Just want to make sure of who we're talking to.
If any of you have Streetwise, you can roll it because of that name.
Yeah. Anybody who has Streetwise can roll.
1 sec. Intelligence is streetwise, or?
Yep. Intel Streetwise.
I don't know shit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, sounds familiar, but you can't place it.
How does my Celestial Courser have more streetwise than the Corax?
I've only got one dot in it.
Well, I do suppose I have 4 dots of intelligence, so.
Well, Miriam would have heard about Carmine Santangelo, who's also called Carmine the Saint. He is a dangerous man in the underworld to wrong.
He's the Don of Minneapolis.
Yeah. Well, I can understand why Mr. Carmine here would not want to associate with me. It may sour his reputation, should I say?
If I knew who you were, I would make that decision. I don't know who you are.
Assistant Deputy Director of the FBI. He looks at you.
He flashes his badge and he can go into places with his guns. Amazing.
I assume
Kinda
that
jealous.
I assume you did not have to relinquish your pistol.
No.
Associating you with you doesn't do any bad things. It's not gonna hurt me at all.
He nods. Very well.
However, I could probably get you a really nice windfall, maybe a promotion. I know a guy.
And that's what I've heard. You know quite a few people. Just smiles.
You have a problem, sir.
I do?
Yes.
And what problem would that be?
The problem is the Minneapolis Police Department.
Not so much a problem. They've been put back on active duty. They're back to their normal procedures.
You removed them from their details?
Correct.
You realize this puts a target on your back because you had to sign that paperwork, sir.
I could care less. As an FBI agent, I am doing my job. I saw no reason to extend the resources of the Minneapolis Police Department to watch areas that are not currently suspect for terrorist hits.
Might I be bold?
Go ahead.
2 guys in a room.
Blatant about things, so.
Here's the issue. Mr. Rainsdale, may I speak?
Of course.
Thank you, sir. Look, now, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job, because that would be dickish. However, if I, it's for instance this kind of thing, okay? For instance, if I would have find out that these police people have been put on some kind of weird, whacked out detail or whatever, the question I would ask myself is who made that call? Because from what I understand, there wasn't any official word. It just kind of got said and done.
It was actually officially declared by the mayor that they were to be watched because they were rumored to be suspected terroristic activities. It is within the police paperwork that proves all this. I, however, since I have the say, have proven otherwise, and that we have gotten no report of such terroristic activities planned in Minneapolis. We have since disproven the North Americans for North America being involved in what has happened within the city.
Which brings up a question I was going to ask you over at the bar earlier. So, Giles, what exactly got you sent over here in the first place? Because, it seems kind of serendipitous that you showed up.
To be quite honest, with all the activity going on within the city over just a week, it immediately drew the attention. The major thing that really got our attention was the fact that a police officer was shot and killed, and there didn't seem to be much of an effort to find the killer.
So
I thought that odd myself.
So how many from your department are around here? And how many are like you?
We have a standard team, and I'm the only one like me.
Got it.
But
we're all the only ones like ourselves, obviously, but...
But I can pull in more forces if I deem it necessary. But I have to be very careful because I have to have the paperwork to back up why I feel X force being put here is necessary.
You can get your paperwork. Sir.
Yes, but it's gotta pass the director's eyes, and believe me, he's a stickler for fucking
Well,
people.
if he's a stickler, sir, I can put you in direction with which will actually have you doing your job and helping us out immensely. In
'Cause you
order
were
to
mentioning the Sabbath guys that everybody was talking about earlier. Sounds like that might be a
Ugh.
good direction to.
Nope, that's
No?
not no. He didn't need to go that way. Where he needs to concentrate his effort, really simply, is Black Wolf.
Yeah, it's the second time that name's been mentioned.
The reason I say this is because I'm kind of an expert on moving things into and out of places where you're not supposed to move those things.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a thing I do. What I'm suggesting to you is their armament and paperwork may not exactly be in order. As I've taken an interest, as I've taken an interest in the in the creation and understanding of such a PMC.
You know,
You
well,
will
I can
also
definitely look into that because that would definitely raise some flags and
their
regulate
armament
some things.
alone. Their armament alone, most of it's not legal. Now I understand that PMCs have a lot of flexibility. Not this much.
You know, very well. I can take a look into that. I can focus my efforts and make them very uncomfortable when the FBI go poking around.
Caveat to that. You
Yeah.
guys, you gotta be careful. These guys ain't regular guys. That's all I know.
Very well. I will keep that in mind, and I do appreciate the heads up. But I also will offer any aid I can in any other capacity I do have.
You need your best.
Due to my affiliation and my current status,
You're our best weapon in that arena alone.
Very well.
If I'm not speaking out of turn, Mr. Ramsdale.
Then I will get immediately on investigating the Black Wolf. If they have illegal armament or armament that doesn't make sense for what has been reported, then we will have a nice long talk with the.
And that is all I would like for you to do, because anything else kind of jeopardizes your position. Your position gets jeopardized. You're of no use to us. No disrespect.
Ari, check the chat.
One moment.
Now, you speak with an authority in the mortal world and in the whacked out hoodoo world, so thank you very much. However, the rest of you, what is it exactly you can do for us?
Well, I'm a hacker, and I'm a mage.
That means nothing to me.
I can peek through people's data, and I can see things from far away.
I got a guy for the first thing.
And that map that I handed your friend Mr. Rensdale, I found that on my own. Seeing things from far away is ridiculously useful.
When you say seeing things from far away, can you see things that are unapparent to the normal eyesight?
Yep.
That's wonderful.
I can look through the fundamental natures of reality. I can sense emotions, life.
Here's my questions. Can you look at a guy and tell what he is?
If I've seen one of them before, and I've met Guru and vampires before, so...
What if it's something else? Will it just come up as a wacky thing? You don't know what it is?
If it's a something else, it'll come up as a wacky thing, and I can ask around and figure out what it is with some research.
That would be nice.
That would be a problem.
I can't just go ping. That's a thing. Okay, I have to know what I'm looking at.
Giles looks. Okay, here's the one problem I see with that issue. You guys want to keep some of this on the down low as much as possible, correct?
Mm.
So, if he goes asking around certain people about certain things, wouldn't that no longer make it on the down low?
I wasn't finished yet.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm at the very least just instantly I can tell if it's Kindred, Mage, or Shifter, because I've met them all before.
If you could do us a favor, if you have some friends individuals that also have this ability. Could you go on like a looky-loose spree or some specific individuals, and if they come out wacky, just tell us they come out wacky and don't go any poking around?
Yeah, I can do that. That's what I was saying, is at the very least I can tell you they come out wacky, as you say, and what kind of wacky they come out.
Don't ask questions. It's imperative of you all to not ask questions. We're keeping a tight circle on this.
I think
Don't
you're
ask
probably talking to a few of the wrong people then.
Oh, if you can't do what I ask, then leave.
He's got a point. This has got to be kept as confidential as possible.
I'm serious.
These guys have infiltrated as much as everybody is worried they have.
And if I find out you are, asking questions, I'll have you whacked.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is draw attention to yourself, because they're going to start wondering why you're asking all these questions. They're going to start questioning everybody you know. And it may be
When I say asking questions, I just mean doing research. I know how to keep my head down and not talk to the wrong people.
Do you know how to not talk to anybody?
Yes. But you're also asking me to bring in other members of my cabal, which we have a very large and substantial library on all of these on all the theory I can look through, and I don't have to say to anyone. Capiche?
Did you just try and say capiche?
I was raised in New York. I know how to say capiche.
Yeah, well, I was raised in Brooklyn, so I win.
Ah, so was I.
You was around Wonder Bread Wops, the Manogan.
No, actually, I was in the Hasidic part of Brooklyn.
I got no words for that. Those guys are deadly. You think you guys don't got a mob? Forget about it. That being said,
sounds like aside from Stormtail here, who can't keep his mouth shut.
So you can't keep your mouth shut?
No. What I was saying is
that's a problem.
Well, hold on. Well, let give him a chance to, because I may have misunderstood, so I want to give him a chance to clear it up, because he's not going to. Go ahead.
Pretty much what you were saying, Carmine, was sit down, shut up, do what I say, and to not ask any questions. That ain't gonna fly. Excuse the pun.
Oh, it ain't?
No, because if you want to be able to try and get help from other people, you can't be you can be a dickbag about it, but frankly, out of the gate, you kind of gotta...
You think that I'm trying to be an asshole overlord type of guy. No, I'm trying to keep my friends and my companions alive, because the more people who know about this, the more we have problems.
And yeah. I'm aware of that.
Well, if you were aware of that, why would you question how I said what I said?
Well, let me finish. What you said is, don't ask any questions.
Nope. None.
The problem is, you gotta ask the right questions. I came into this whole meeting not knowing a bloody thing about this whole situation you guys are in. I could write an entire thesis statement about it by this point.
I don't suggest you do so.
No, I'm not that dumb.
I don't suggest you do so either.
No, believe me, I'm all for, extending my longevity. And I understand the fact that this is a big problem that needs to get addressed. But I'm just saying that everybody at this table has their methods.
Ransdell frowns deeply.
Everybody at this table has their methods.
So what you're telling me?
And if we're going to help each other, you got to play to everybody's strengths, right?
No, I don't. I asked you what you could do for me, and you told me. Well, you hadn't told me squat. You said.
I was letting Miriam finish.
Right. She's done. What do you got?
Do you know where the Bakerfield Museum is? Over
I got Google. I could find it probably.
I got Google.
How much do you know about their security systems?
That they're not a problem.
Not anymore.
Nobody's security systems are a problem right now.
Before I even had
That is corrected as of now, by the way, Conrad. Um, that is extremely illegal.
Picked up on that, did you?
Oh, quite a bit.
Right, so
Oh,
so
that's my
Bakersfield. What's the deal?
broke into that place 4 different times using completely different entrances.
So
By
what?
the way, Giles, you didn't hear that. Um,
I didn't hear nothing.
I could, Miriam can look from point A to point B regardless of walls. I can go look at a place, be 15 feet away from somebody, and they won't even know I'm there.
Okay, let me explain something to you right quick, because maybe you don't understand how I work. If I send you to go do something and you get clipped, suddenly all the guys that like you a whole lot are pissed at me because I sent you. It's not gonna work.
Basically, he wants assurances that if we were to send you to go recon something, that the rest of the Guru Society would not come hunting us because we sent you to go do something
And got hurt,
and got hurt.
because I'll turn this bitch to Fallujah. I got no problem with that. But
I'd
I'd
prefer
rather
not
have. I know, right? I'd rather not go there because you told me you could go do it. Now I'm not doubting your skill. You said you've done something 4 times. I gotta believe you, But it's more of a resource management kind of thing. That's what I do. I manage resources, and if you are a resource and you have that capability, if I had a particular place that I wanted you to go do that at, I would send you in with help or have you be the lead on something like that. Do you understand that?
No, that's fair.
But yeah, so it was just his way of saying that, we don't want these shifters coming back on us because we're trying to get something cleaned up in the city.
Because no disrespect, we ain't all friends here. We're all kind of working together because we don't want to get our faces ripped off from the bad guys.
No,
Well,
I get that.
Much appreciated.
I use bad guys as like a term because they may not actually. I don't know how you feel about them.
No, that's as good of a term as any.
Because there's like this hell place, and I don't really like that type of thing. I'm Catholic, for God's sake.
Now, as far as the guru and all that, I don't particularly think they'd have any issues if I ended up doing a thing on my own where I ended up biting off more than I can chew. They're kind of, I don't know. I mean, they seem friendly and all, but
This is me nodding.
Meritocracy is a word.
I'm nodding because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know what Garu is. I don't know nothing. I just know you're a guy, and you say you know some guys that are called Garu. I don't know if they're important or not. He thinks there are, so they must be. Is it like a gang?
Something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Something
so
like
you
that.
represent the Garu gang. These are talented individuals. They got guns or something.
Something like that.
Something like that.
So they're dangerous, a force to be reckoned with, good for shark troop type of value.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
They're soldiers, is what you're saying. You got
Yes.
soldiers, and they're called Garu. All right.
He is playing his
Stormfield's just
character
smiling
because
ear to
his character
ear.
doesn't have any Guru lore, so I mean he's playing it correct.
Yeah, and Stormfield's just smiling from ear to ear, like, yep, pretty much. I mean, I can't tell them what to do. Like I said, they're pretty decentralized.
Okay, so
But-
why would they send? Is you one of these Garu? You in the Garu gang?
Kind of.
Like you're either in a,
Short
you're
version.
either in a gang or you're not in a gang.
Carmine, let me put it this way. If one of my kind tells them there's a bad thing, it needs to not be there anymore. Generally speaking, they're going to get rid of the bad thing in the most glorious and violent and bloody way possible.
So I don't want to call these guys until like the last minute.
Probably.
Okay, see, this is information I didn't have before. We got a Garu gang. Okay, cool.
Holly's going to kill me later.
Yeah.
And,
But it would affect him, so I mean, Holly already knows what's going on.
so
That's fair.
So you are not in the Garu gang, but you know the Garu gang. And
Yeah.
they'll listen to you when you talk.
Technically, Jason, there's all kinds of breaches going on right now, but
You're like a Kujin. You're like you're not in the family, but you're affiliated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Matt, sorry, I wrote
Korax,
out.
they don't go by those rules.
I wrote out Miriam's reply and forgot to hit enter. Give me a moment.
Okay.
All right.
They
So
don't have those days.
I have. Okay. The plan, as it is now, is recon. We're sussing out defenses. We're holding action. Now, part of our plan to maintain what we have, we have set up a battle plan when it comes to that. No disrespect, but I cannot tell you that plan. Suffice to say, I can let you know specific areas that we would wish you to avoid. And I can tell you, if a meeting needed to occur, some places that we would deem, okay, not a problem. You understand?
I can also, if you need another secure location, I can offer. I know this may be unflattering to you, Mr. Carmine, but I can offer at least a level within the FBI building here that can be used.
FBI building's being watched like a hawk.
Not anymore. He looks.
FBI building's being watched like a hawk.
Not anymore. It's my building.
I guarantee you missed something.
Okay.
This isn't a pissing contest kind of. It's like all my guys. I'm betting everything on this thing. Okay. I gotta be sure, especially since I got it on good authority that the Supermax cop place, yeah, that's where Garrett is.
Okay. What is the Supermax cop place?
I don't know, some kind of place where all the cops are hanging out, and the Black Wolf Company like
The
headquarters
one you
where
want
all.
me to investigate. Well, that
Yeah.
would change if I started checking.
Well.
And the FBI goes poking, the rats all tend to scurry.
Well, I'm just letting you know. I don't want you, like you said, no surprises. If I send somebody someplace, I'll let them know what's going on.
Well, I witnessed some gentlemen carrying some what I believed was illegal merchandise, and I would at least question the validity of their documents and paperwork. I'd actually want to see their actual documents and paperwork. So it's not anything unheard of.
It's all within his job description. So.
Correct.
Hold tight, Marcus. You got to switch damn computers.
No problem.
Okay. And I think by now I should be finished hacking, so I can actually put this laptop away.
Yeah, enough time has passed.
Yeah. So. Miriam actually manages to close her laptop and pull off a thumbstick, and go ahead and send Holly and me that information through PM of whatever I could get.
What were you checking out again? You're gonna have to
the name of. She gave me the name of the detective who put a gun to her face.
Oh, you'll have to contact John for that. That's John's character.
Neat.
Yeah, that is purely John's character because it's a mage NPC.
Well, hopefully I'll get that info from him then, if I can get a hold of him.
Make sure you let him know about the rolls you did for the hacking, because I guarantee he's going to question it. I saw him, but I just, you at least want to let him know how many, what hacking rolls you made, so on and so forth. Tell him exactly and how many successes you remember.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to, you can look back after we're done here, and it should, show up.
It was
your
one
dice did show.
It was one success and stuff, but I'll find the
Because, like I said, that's an NPC thing, so, and that's a mage NPC, so you'd have to talk to John specifically about that.
Yep. I gotcha.
Otherwise, I'd be like, okay, here's the information. But I know jack shit about the guy. I just know that this NPC would know his NPC because of his status. So,
Well, that's fine. It's just
it was just kind of
Miriam didn't ask. She just went straight to the source and pulled up his personnel file. Because you can learn a lot from somebody from their personnel file.
Especially if it's an FBI one, because they do extensive backgrounds and psychology profiles. I mean, they do all kinds of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think he's FBI. I think he's just state police, so you won't have as detailed records as the FBI would.
Still, if you see that the guy never takes off any sick days.
Yeah, that would be a good indication.
So he's a life mage then.
Something like that. I mean, I don't know exactly what he is, but stuff like that would immediately kick in for Miriam. Obviously, never takes any sick days, or he only works at night, which would give you a big indication of what preference he is.
Been through X many firefights and never been wounded in action.
Yeah, stuff like that. But I know he's a mage. I know he's not a vampire, so he's out of my purview.
Once caught a fish this big.
That wasn't a fish.
It was Gojira!
Okay, we lost both Marcus and PJ. Apparently they're on the same network.
Well, obviously the Tremere network is pretty faulty.
Yeah, apparently. A little lacking today, apparently.
Yeah, where's your technomancy now?
I actually don't think they have anybody with technomancy. I didn't make any NPCs with it. So.
Neat.
And I don't think they have one yet. I mean, admittingly, there's been some stuff going on in Blue Book and little side things that may change that. But as of right now, I don't know. Because
when you hold the rank of regent, you can request that the Lord send somebody if they really need it. And and until you get to the high levels, technomancy is only really faking good computer rolls.
Mm-hmm. Just out of curiosity, Jason, what's your character doing on the first floor? Since we have this moment, because we've missed all our other people right now, apparently.
I don't know, I kind of lost track of what everything was going on.
I got you. Basically, last we knew, you were just kind of on the first floor, just kind of listening to the music, going...
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think there's really much that I can really do in this scene.
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, if you'd say, hey, okay, this is my scene, you want to leave, that's your choice. Or you can sit and just be quiet and listen in. Just remember, all other character knowledge.
I think it'd be best because if I listen to any more of this stuff, I'm going to end up inadvertently remembering something in a later scene. And that's
we all do the same thing. Yeah, we all do the same thing.
Or you could just wander through the club until you randomly find us.
Really want to clamp down on metagaming because I fucking hate it when people do it.
Oh, I hate it with a passion too, which is why I had to state earlier what I stated.
Yeah.
Oh,
so probably looked around the club. Probably, maybe I had a drink. Probably didn't feel like it was kind of his thing because, whatever reason, just abdicates.
Yeah, like I said, I do need to head off in about 10 minutes since I just saw the time.
Okay. I mean, we can always just, end it there, and we can pick it up later. Since
we can call it there.
Yeah. Since I don't know, Marcus is coming back. I sure don't know about PJ. So.
Miriam's gonna collect what she's got and head on out.
Okay. Giles will give, by the way, a business card to everybody, giving his contact information.
Miriam will give Giles one of her burner phone numbers,
Okay.
and it's his blank business card with number written in pen because
Yeah,
it's cheaper than having to get new business cards every time you burn a phone.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, Giles will look at Stormtail, and if you're serious about it, come by the FBI building, and just grab an application.
it's, if nothing else, it's worth looking into.
Someone with what I'm aware of might be your personal skills could be very handy, and well, I can always ensure that the paperwork gets transferred to the right areas.
You might get an application from me as well.
That's fine.
I have.
If you guys
I
give me a
have.
heads up, I can ensure that the right people are looking at it rather than anyone else.
Well, I'll let you know right now. I have military experience.
Okay, good. That's a bonus. And we're not above hiring. He looks at Stormtail criminals.
Hey,
Well,
I
I
am simply an insurance account management.
Well,
person.
I broke about 6 laws while we were talking, so.
I'm sure we all broke some laws here, but thankfully,
Well, I'm not counting
there's
conspiracy, so.
yeah, well, that one's questionable. It's not really a conspiracy if you're trying to protect the city.
Yeah, but
He just kind of smiles.
Perspective.
Miriam will smirk back at him and say, "Yeah, I'm. As I mentioned, I'm an electronic data expert."
Well, we can always use more of those. Yeah, so like I said, if you guys really want to, if you guys want to pursue it, you're welcome to put in an application. If you guys let me know ahead of time, I will ensure that it gets to the right division because they may put you in with regulars.
Yeah.
Right on.
I would think that with your certain particular skill set, would be more valuable assets elsewhere.
Right. I'll let you know before it gets filed.
Not. All right. Well, I should. He looks at his time. Shit, I should probably get going anyways. I gotta go bitch at somebody.
Fair enough.
Oh, the fucking mayor's an idiot.
You think
Alright.
the mayor's in on the bad things we've been talking about?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's probably why he did what he did, but I can go yell at him and have more leeway with it because, you don't want me investigating you, do you, Mr. Mayor? I can find dirt.
Miriam writes down something and says, "I'll make a note to do some spying."
Yep, and I'm gonna go holler at the gang and see what's going on.
Alright.
Yeah. Given what you guys do, I'm sure that Garou is on some eco-terrorist list somewhere.
I know not of what you speak, Giles. I did not hear of anything such like that. I have no idea what you're talking about. We were just here having a normal conversation.
I'm certain.
He just smiles. He gets up and he, nods to you two and then just leaves. And with that, I'll say you guys just get up, walk out, get whatever weapons if you had any. Thank you, players, for
The
playing.
only other thing is,
Go ahead.
oh, I was just say the only other thing is on their way out, Stormtail's gonna pester Miriam a little bit about the ore field thing and what he was able to dig up.
Oh, what were you able to dig up?
Really jack and squat. Other than the fact that everything is pretty much criminally negligent in regards to what, excuse me, as far as what things that should be public record are actually there. They should have a floor plan with ducting and all of that in the actual blueprints. Theirs barely show where rooms are.
Okay.
Let alone having electrical and everything put in so that you would know where the servers are.
Could you take a look through the Umbra?
Kinda. I don't know what room I might come out in.
No, I'm saying just take a look. If it's extremely Lot Weaver aligned, then my suspicions are correct. If not, then we might be able to jump in and take it.
Fair enough.
Because
Alright.
the more of those intersections that the good guys control, the better.
Alright, I'll see what I can do.
Good.
Ow. Alright. Okay, now Bill, you do your thing.
Okay. And thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Stay tuned as the alliance grows stronger and stronger. Good night, all.